y'all looking for new friends, but just to what, turn up with? Let's get some money without scamming and bringing that back up, because people do be doing that. People get friends to scam. That's a real thing. Getting near the phones, the cards, all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Mental health or wellness person, and you know your LinkedIn content ain't looking too good, and you worried about if I'm gonna get the clients I'm looking for, or you need some white papers done or some articles done that you haven't had done, and some PR articles, and you may just need something to tighten up on, and somebody to do that for you, and it's lacking because you don't have it, a newsletter to push out to your clients, and you just don't have it, and you're not going to get the results you wanted because you don't have it done. Of course that's going to happen, but it can be changed if you reach out to me, Izzy Baker, for your mental health and wellness content. If you need anything done as far as white papers, articles, if you're in the podcast and YouTube description, anything social media written for you, your LinkedIn is really important. If you need that, I know I got the recipe for it. If you need anything like that done, reach out to me. What's up, y'all? It is it. Can you believe it? We made it to the final episode of PSA the Mental Podcast, season 8. And when I said at the beginning, season 8 was going to be great and we was going to reach numbers and views that I've never reached before, wrought. Wrought before. We did that. I've learned that, this platform is really meaning something. I see a lot of engagement on a lot of the clips that I post and people giving their opinions. And I know it's only the beginning because it's been a long time coming, but I'm not tripping because it's always supposed to happen when it's supposed to. Subscribers are growing pretty consistently. I've learned a new way to push the content as far as like what's really getting the people engaged. So although the podcast itself is ending and will be gone for a few months, the live streams, as I said before, they're going to continue. And so if you don't want to listen to the live streams on YouTube, remember the audio for the live streams will be on the all the apps, and a live stream still going every Monday. Although the podcast will not be back for season 9 until at least probably April. So it's a good 3-month break and a good 3-month, just give me more time to live and experience things so I can come back with content, because a live stream, I'm just really reacting to stuff. So yeah. All right. So also, as stated, this is the part 2 to the part 1 from last week featuring my girl Denise G. Lee. So this is part 2 of Breaking the Hustle Curse. Yeah. Breaking the Hustle Curse, part 2. So now let's get into this week's meme. The meme reads, you can chase the bag all you want, but the best opportunities often come when you least expect them. Inspiration for this episode is coming from a text message that I got. And in the text message said, Happy New Year. I hope and pray that 2025 is full of great opportunities and filled with love, joy, peace, and open doors. Now, you're probably thinking, it's the day, 2 days after New Year's Day, and you got that text. So this episode, usually sometimes I record episodes, weeks in advance, months in advance in some cases. This episode is literally being recorded the day before this drops. And we're actually a day late because the episode was supposed to drop yesterday, the Thursday, like normal, but it dropped on Friday this week because basically quick story time. So what happened was, okay, well, let me do my inspirations and I'm gonna get back. A quote by Tiffany Montgomery, and it says, will you take this money if you don't have no money and it's from the devil? I'm going to expound on that a little later. And then obviously from last week, Deuteronomy 8:18, the one, the verse about the Lord giving you the power to create wealth. And so now finish the story time. So basically the goal was to have this episode recorded before I went to St. Louis. That was a goal. That didn't get done. So then I was okay. Well, I'm gonna have my work on my script while I'm at home. I wasn't doing nothing at home, y'all. I was just sitting there, basically looking crazy and sleep the whole time. So I really didn't do nothing. And I was like, well, I work on it on the way to the plane, and on the plane didn't do that. And I said I'm gonna work on it Tuesday because the goal was to finish and record Tuesday, send out Wednesday, have by today, which is now Thursday. And this is as it's being recorded is Thursday, but this drops on Friday. I just couldn't do it. So moving forward, do stuff in advance when you feel it. But at the time, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And see, that's why y'all like me, because I'm honest. That's why you like me, because I'm honest. All right, y'all. So you know how things are. Let's jump right into it because we have a lot to say. So let's jump into the first segment for the day, which is happy hour. All right, so today's happy hour is something I want to talk about because it's kind of random, but it's something that I want to touch on. So in this new year, and because it is now 2025, I want y'all to be like Tyler Perry to the BS. Usually you hear Ray Charles to the BS, you hear Stevie Wonder to the BS. I want you to be like Tyler Perry to the BS, and Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder are legal. Well, Ray Charles no longer with it, but legally blind. Tyler Perry's eyesight is very good. So when I want you to be like Tyler Perry to the BS, because it was in a report that Tyler Perry's, people always talk about his stories are the same. It's the same stuff. It's all it, right? However, Tyler Perry has stated he has not read a review on his writing in probably 20 years. What does that tell you? You are so in tune with yourself that people are dragging you, and they're dragging you so hard that you don't even know it because you refuse to even engage. I said this in many seasons ago, that engaging in something that's going to hurt your feelings is no different. You're no different than the girl or the guy who is cutting themselves with a blade. That's self-mutilation. Why are you watching something or reading something to see somebody talk about you? Because they do be talking bad about them. His stuff still be getting the views, though. That's why his stuff keep coming back for seasons. So it don't matter what y'all say, it keep coming back. So whatever he doing is working. But people could say he just buying seasons. I'm like, I don't think it worked like that. But I don't know. His stuff keep coming back, and he apparently writes all his stuff too. They say he don't have a writer's room, and if he do, he got ghostwriters because no one knows who they are. So I don't know, but we know for a fact, based on his history, he wrote all his stuff before. So it wouldn't be like that's just the craziest thing. But hey. So in 2025, be like Tyler Perry to the BS. Know they talking crap, but don't even engage. Don't even respond. Like, don't even look. What you looking for? You know how hard that is to do when you know people dragging you and talking crazy about you. You're not responding and not looking. One thing not to respond, but not even looking. That's the type. He's like Omarion, because Omarion don't care about nothing. And some people be faking like they don't care, but Omarion don't care at all. And that's how you need to be, especially this year. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, because as you keep doing what you're supposed to be doing and you elevating to them levels, people going to be talking, good, bad, and indifferent. So keep that in mind. Now, also talking about another part of my happy hour for today, I want to talk about what's going on with me. So if you know, in July of last year, we did the 60-day cleanse. Now, me, I'm going to be honest because I'm always honest. I went 41 days. It was a list of stuff. We went 41 days. It was 60 days. I went 41 days without drinking. I ended up drinking on day 41 because I was on a boat. Honest. I was on the boat and I was just like, I want to be a little drunk on the boat. So I drank. I'm just going to be honest. So, but then I picked it back up and continued. And even after that, I didn't drink no more. The rest after that, like the rest of that trip. Because the first day of the trip I didn't. And then I drank on that boat and that was it. And I didn't drink like the rest. I made it the rest of the time. So this time that won't happen. And this time we're doing it for 90 days. Now, this time what we're adding to it is, although I don't smoke, but I'm adding to it, is this time we're doing no marijuana. So no substances, no marijuana, and no other drugs. Because you might say, well, I don't do marijuana, I do heroin. No substances. So no marijuana, no drugs of any kind, no pills, no alcohol, no porn. Been led to do that for the people. You know why? Somebody feel like some people need that. And then we're gonna go back with the waking up at 7 every morning, except one day after week. Last time we only read 5 pages of a book. This time we're doing 7 pages a day. And we're gonna do one raw meal again. Raw meal as far as, matter of fact, I'm gonna do one raw meal because I don't trust y'all to do one raw day. Now I'm gonna do one raw day a week, but I want y'all to do one raw meal a day. So that's yeah. One raw meal a day. You could just wake up and drink water and eat blueberries. That's your raw meal. That's what you want to do. Now I'm gonna do one raw meal a day and one raw day a week. That's just me. And I'm gonna do some other things too that I'm gonna kind of keep, low key. But yeah, that's how we're gonna do that. Gonna post it all on social media, and we're gonna start January 6th. So by the time you listen to this when you're supposed to, then you'll be able to join in right on time. And if you start late, that's okay. Come on in. Is that all I'm gonna talk about today? I think so. Let's move into the next topic. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into this topic today. I think this topic is going to be good because, like I said, it's a continuation of last week, breaking the hustle curse. And again, talking about hustling. Hustling is great, but hustling only going to get you so far. And that's the point I want to make, because there's nothing wrong with having that hustle in you and that hard work and determination and making something happen. But it's stuff that only God can do. And I got another thing about that today. But first, let's get into everyone's favorite, the case study. Now, for today's case study and the final one of this season, I have a few videos we're going to watch. So I'm going to play the one, going to talk about it, go back, and just kind of keep it in that format. But it's 3 different videos. So let's go ahead and get with the first one, which comes from Instagram. And this comes from a creator known as Ayana Yvonne Official. You'd be seeing her. She'd be the one to be like, catch that. All right, let's redo it so they can start from the beginning.
Always remember that what's rooted in God does not need validation from man. Catch it. Baby, you do not need their applause. You don't need their money. You don't need their time. You don't need their support. Is it nice to have it? Yup. Is it a necessity to your success? No. I got to say it like that because a lot of y'all are delaying the fulfillment of God's purpose and plan for your life because people don't see God's purpose and plan for your life. Because people don't believe in the vision that God has for your life. This is why you always got to stay prayed up, always in connection with God. Get into your scriptures, lean on your relationship with God. Go into your Haven app and ask, how can I prioritize God's yes over they know? And you see, what I love about having a relationship with God, what I love about being in my Bible study in my Haven app, is you can get as detailed as you want to. You see, my mama, for real, a lot of y'all are holding yourselves up because your friends and your families are not supporting your dreams. They're not supporting your visions. They're not supporting your business. But in 2025, baby, you just gonna have to say, so what? Trust. God's yes will carry you all the way to the fulfillment of his purpose and plan for your life. Always remember that what's rooted in God does not need validation from man. Catch it. Baby, you do not need their applause.
All right, so that also looked like, which I don't blame you, get your money. But it also looked like her promoting the Haven app. Never heard of it, but I heard of it today. So basically, just to touch on what she said in that video, kind of just about how we as a people, we want validation from the people closest to us. And I say this on Threads, and sometimes I'll be saying it to myself, and then y'all just happen to hear it. But I know it's for somebody when I say, like, some people around you, not even because they haters, they just won't see what you see. And I said it before, like, you're going to have to be okay with that because you're trying to get them to see you as this. They don't see you as that. And that's okay. I said before, I believe people are blinded on purpose so that you don't get caught up and want them to see it, because some people done got praised too much and now in their mind there's nothing they can't do. And I can't stand a person like that because you can't do everything. Now, somebody might say, oh, you hating. Are you trying to discredit people? Or you trying to tear them down? No, but what I'm saying is you really cannot do everything. And some people still hold on to the joy or the success of them getting the hundreds on all their spelling tests in the 4th grade. And so now they just won't let that go. So now and then they used to being the smartest person in the room, and their friends that they be around was on the spectrum. They don't know it. And you thinking, and then if I come through saying, if you're the smartest person in the room, we got a problem, because you know what I'm saying? You ain't dumb and you got a little wisdom, but you ain't as smart as you think you is, because you hang around a bunch of dudes who they was on the spectrum. They was in the little classrooms, the one with less people than the others. And like I said, if you smarter than them, that ain't saying much. But what I'm saying is, too, we also are around people, some of us are around people who be, as the kids say, be glazing. Like, you can't do no wrong in their eyes. And it's like, I need to do wrong sometimes. There needs to be something you can't see. But for me, it seems like a lot of times I've been around more people who don't see the vision. They don't see it till later. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because, like I said, some people just ain't going to see it till later. But when they do, they're going to say they saw it the whole time. They ain't see it. And that's cool, because I saw it. And you have to have so much validation in yourself that is God-given, because if you are trying to validate yourself or get validation from people, you're going to keep chasing it. It's like a drug. It's like a drug. It's like I almost said a name that wouldn't have been right, so I'm glad I didn't say that. But it's almost like you are, who's a fictional crackhead? Because I can't say a real one, because that's not right. But whoever a fictional crackhead is, that's what you like. You chasing that fix. That's like your drug. Like, tell me I'm good, chasing compliments, or, fishing for compliments, or, see, you see what I posted today? What did you think about it? Like, that's something. If you want your 2025s to be popping, with that video was one of them, you have to break free from the validation of man. Now, the next video is 2 different parts that we're going to watch. I'm going to part one part, then we're going to watch the other one, and I'm going to talk and then go back to it. But this one is about consistency. You over here complaining that your TikTok not popping, but you don't even post like you're supposed to. Your YouTube not popping, you don't post like you're supposed to. So this video is from my boy. I don't know him personally. He's just from St. Louis. His name CJ, I think Sire. He's like a fashion influencer. So we're gonna watch clips from his YouTube channel real quick, and then I'm gonna pause. We're gonna get into that.
Realistically, your lack of consistency, bro, is what is keeping you from getting to where you want to go. And that's something that I've been feeling like a lot recently with myself, or like my peers that I'm around. And I feel like the biggest thing that's stopping you from being as great as you could possibly be is yourself. And I feel like a lot of us, but don't nobody really, like, I don't know. I feel like it's rare for you to actually hold yourself accountable to really getting done with the shit that you need to get done. Like, for example, me, like, I've been going this whole year off straight, like, ambition, motivation, and, like, just winging it, basically. And that means no schedules, no, like, oh, well, I'm going to film this day, or no, oh, well, I'm going to just do it if I feel like it. Oh, I got this boost of energy today. Let me do that. And I started to learn, like, it's been working all this time. So if you kind of like, all right, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not that I'm saying like, oh, it's not working or I'm falling off or da-da-da, but I feel like it's that time for a change. And a piece of that is like, all right, well, maybe mapping out the stuff that I need to do by writing it down, actually making myself a routine for some shit, using most of my time wisely instead of just.
All right, so we're gonna go to another part of the video, but basically kind of piggybacking up the whole validation. Well, the validation kind of separate, but it goes along with it, because we got to get free from validation, but we also have to, once you free from that, and some people never even cared about validation, but you have to be strategic. You have to have a plan in place. A lot of people don't. Once again, right here, I actually need to order another one, y'all, because this planner is expired, I believe. I'm looking at it now. We doing this live. Yes, I got to get a new planner, because my planner is done for. I need to get a new one soon. This is my planner for the year. I get one every year, and the Amazon like $11. So I need to order a new one, because like I said, this one fried. But yeah, I need to get a new planner, and that's how I stay consistent. I think the phones are good, but they I think you need to put on a planner in real life. But what I will say is good is if you set alarms. Like I do have alarms set up to post. I think that's good. So if you a content creator of any kind and it's time to post, I think that's good. Okay, now let's look at the second part of what he was saying. Because again, he had a lot of good stuff to say. And this is later in the video. And like I said, I'm always going to post the creators' links in the bio so you can always check it out that way. Now let's watch this second part.
I'm keeping cool with everybody, bro, because it's a certain productivity level that I'm trying to have in my peers, bro. And I see it in a half of my peers, and I don't see it in the other half of my. And not saying don't see it like I don't believe in them or nothing like that, but like I see a level of ambition, which is why this group of friends is here, and I see the level of ambition and why this group of friends is here, bro. It's like, and I think all of it come down to just time management, bro, and the will and the want and the know. Like, nigga, this is what I'm finna do. I'm about to get this shit done, bro. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want this. I want to help do this. This is what the fuck I'm finna do. Watch. Like, it ain't none of that energy, bro. And I think like getting deeper into that, I just feel like not everybody got it, and I feel like it could be taught. But you're gonna have to go through a lot of turmoil probably with that person, bro. Cause it's like, depending on how much you care, if you feel like you the leader of your group, you're gonna have to like, and not even ego check, but like let these niggas know, like, bro, y'all not doing shit right now, like nothing. You want to be great or do you not? And a lot of the stuff that you don't want to do, or the stuff that you don't want to do, that's all the stuff blocking your way for like all the shit that you want in life, bro.
All right, so like I said, I could go on and on with that, and I'm not gonna do that because I want y'all to watch the full video. But that's the thing too. We keep going back to who we around. That keeps coming up. I just seen somebody make a post today that was like reevaluate your circle. And sometimes people think that as going into this new year, you cutting off people because they bad people or because they fake. He just said it blatant. Some of y'all friends not doing nothing. And I'm not finna be around people where every time I'm around, I'm the only one doing something. Yeah, you got a job. You make decent money. But what else? You know what I mean? And some people might say, well, you trying to say that ain't enough. No, it ain't. Like if I had these big, ginormous goals, I'm thinking like an ocean. You thinking like a fish tank. It might be a season that come about where you might got to distance yourself from people. And as you grow, some people just fall off. And that's just how I go. And there's people I've talked to on the phone and I just, be cool with it all these years. And I'll be listening to them. Like, I can't really be around you no more. And some people are going to get offended because they feel as though you think you better. And it's like, I don't think I'm better. It's just that I'm in a different headspace and space than you would die. And certain people you got to leave alone. Don't be scared to leave people alone. I'm not, but I hope y'all not either. All right, so the final video we're going to watch is all kind of line because he was talking about planning. This video is featured from Tiffany Montgomery's Purpose Planning 2025 session. I actually still have an hour left of it, but we're going to watch a few clips from this, and then we're going to go from there. All right, so let me share my screen again. This is really good, like I said, just from the little bit that I got. So, but it's one you're going to have to watch again and take notes. She says stuff like that all the time.
Most of you by nature are incredibly distracted people, and you blow whichever way the wind tosses you that day. As a matter of fact, if what you're doing isn't making money, you say to yourself, oh, I'll just do what Tiffany's doing, or I'll just do what so-and-so is doing, or I'll just do what this person is doing, because it looks like that's the way to succeed in life. And of course, that's not how God created any of you. He wants to make sure that you are incredibly rooted and grounded and clear on your assignments, right? Most of you by nature are incredibly distracted people, and you blow whichever way the wind tosses you that day. As a matter of fact, if what you're doing isn't making money, you say to yourself, oh, I'll just do what Tiffany's doing, or I'll just do what so-and-so is doing, or I'll just do what this person is doing, because it looks like that's the way to succeed in life. And of course, that's not how God created any of you. He wants to make sure that you are incredibly rooted and grounded in who you are, what your assignment is on earth. And this purpose planning session really does help with that. It also helped me with creating boundaries to fulfill my assignment on earth, right? And so not only do I have a very strong assignment that God has given me, so do all of you, right? But it also helps me put boundaries in place so that I'm accomplishing this assignment in excellence, so that I can hear my Father say, well done, thou good and faithful servant, because that's what we all want to hear when we see him come. And the third thing that this purpose planning helps me do is it helps me to destroy all distractions that pollute my assignment. It helps me to destroy all distractions that pollute my assignment. I think for this generation specifically, social media is one of our biggest distractions. I believe it's an assignment from hell. And as long as you are content consumers, outside of being content creators, you are going to get sucked up in the vortex of the portal of hell that social media affords you, with this beautiful bow attached to it.
Okay, so before we go to the next part, I just want to piggyback off that. The whole comment about when she said about social media being a distraction, I know it's a distraction for me. I really wish, and I'm praying that there's a way I can go about taking a break from it, because what's about to happen with me is, like I said, I won't be making new episodes. I'll just be doing the live streams. But what I find interesting is about it, I agree that, like I said, that social media is a problem. And also, sometimes a person can be a distraction. Like I keep telling y'all be around the wrong people. You know what I mean? And I'm not, shaming people for having drinks. I'm not shaming people for going to the club and having fun, because I told y'all I like having fun. But we piggyback off that episode. There's a season where you need to like take a break. And like I said, and not, first of all, certain things we shouldn't be doing for real, no way. But you need to be pulling back. You need to be locking in. And I don't think none of y'all have a time where y'all lock in. Because it's like you might, have a time where you are kicking it, having fun. But then it's like, when do you ever lock in? Because posting you locked in don't mean you locking in. I think y'all just say that because you saw a post on Justin LeBoy page that said lock in. So you like, well, let me repost it and I'm going to lock in. But y'all don't lock in. And even going back to the thing, I just thought about this, the whole validation thing. I noticed y'all need validation, because I was actually going to make a post today. And I was going to say, anybody that's really serious about going to the gym at the start of this year, don't post it. Pop out with results. Post them. Because some people do it for, I was going to say accountability, but a lot of times this for validation. You want to show people you in the gym. I think you should just pop out with results. I don't know who need to hear that. That's what I think you should do. Just pop up with results. But back to what she was saying, you need to plan and get to the bottom of what's stopping you, what's your distraction, what's your trigger. You need to figure that out first. Before you can go against anything, you need to figure out what is your trigger, what is going to stop you, and what's going to block you from getting to your next level. What's going to keep you going in the same cycle. To get something new and get something different, you got to do something you ain't never done. Keep that in mind. Now let's share my screen for the final part of this case studies, and then we're gonna really get into the episode all the way.
That's going to be your number one enemy in 2025. Write that down. Complaining and murmuring. Your mouth is going to kill you in 2025 if you don't get this thing together. What he did was, instead of getting discouraged, is he went to God, and God gave him his next assignment. The Lord said in verse 9, prophesy into the wind, because we have authority over the elements. How do I know that? Because Jesus prophesied to the storm and said, peace be still. That's how I know that. You can go outside and prophesy to the hurricane and declare it, peace be still. The Bible says, prophesy to the wind, son of man, and say to the wind. That lets us know we're supposed to speak to the wind. Thus saith the Lord. Because we don't come in our own name. We come in the name of the resurrected God. Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. Verse 10 says, so I prophesied as he commanded me. What is the last thing God commanded you to do? That's the thing. Many of you are asking God, what do I do next, when you haven't done what God told you to do last? God.
Who need to hear that? Now, going back to the first part when she said that, which I see a lot of, first part, and I'm going to finish up with this. The first part when she made the comment about a lot of y'all trying to do what Tom, Dick, and Jane doing. You trying to do everything but what you supposed to do. We so caught up in trying to make good money. I have watched people in my life, and I said this before, try this, then try this, then try this. But the thing is, you don't like that. You're caught up in, well, my homeboy, Rah-Rah, did this, and he made dummy money from doing it, or my homegirl, Cindy, did this, and she made hella money from doing it. But you don't understand that you don't know whether they went to God about that project that they did, or they have a grace for that. When you have a grace for something and something comes naturally to you, you're gonna have more. The oil is on you for that. You're gonna have more success doing that than the other person. That's just because that's your thing. So when people are trying to do other people's things, it's like that's something they like to do and something that comes easy for them. You over here trying to copy their blueprint, it's just not going to work. And that's another message for somebody worried about people copying you. Like everybody can't do it how you do it. So even if they try, it's not going to be the same thing. And it can get annoying, and it can get annoying, but just keep that in mind. It's not going to look the same. And they're going to be exposed themselves anyway. But also the most recent one about us having the authority to speak things, but also that part about what did God tell you to do last? What were you told to do last? What were you led to do last that you didn't complete? That could be right now why you're not seeing what you're looking for. That could be the reason why you're not seeing what you're looking for, because you didn't do the last thing you was led to do. I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna be that person. All right, now, so before we continue any further, all right, well, matter of fact, yeah, so we're going to the next segment because this is me by myself. So I got a few things we're going to do. Let's get into the next segment, which is QT&A, which is questions that need addressing. All right, so now the first question that we're going to ask today: how did this episode time with the last episode? So this episode is the piggyback off that episode. The last episode was the start of the race. This is we finishing it off. So we're going to tie it in. Obviously, some things from last episode are going to be mentioned in this, but this is its own separate entity. Like I said, it's the continuation of. Another question: why are you doing what you're doing? This question goes to anybody who's looking for that why. Why are you doing what you're doing in life? You know, you might be saying, I'm working this job because it makes good money. Do you like your job? There are people who have jobs that they love and they don't feel like work. And that's the thing. A lot of us need to look for that. We've gotten settled in what I'm just going to settle with. I got a job that pay all my bills. And that could be, which I don't want to jump ahead of myself, but that could be the purpose for you in this season. But that's not what you're supposed to do for life. Your why is what gets you out of bed in the morning, things that you naturally enjoy doing, things that naturally excite you. Now, if scamming excites you, then we might need to have a conversation, because that you in the wrong, you in error. Or if OnlyFans excites you, you might be in error. Now, we talked about men having OnlyFans last season, but I mean, a lot of them really don't enjoy it. I feel like they just do it because it's like it make good money. I don't think nobody really enjoys OnlyFans for real. I think they just love the money. But if you're doing it and you like people looking at you naked and stuff, then you seeking validation, and there's probably an issue underlying that you need to address. I'm not diagnosing you. I'm saying probably. I'll even add allegedly. Next question. Well, yeah, next question. Have you been in a situation that came out of thin air that changed your life? Yes, I have, different times, and it's one I'm going to explain in this episode as we go along. Yeah. So, okay. So basically, it's a situation that happened. I'm gonna explain a little bit now. There's a situation that happened where I was requested out of nowhere to help a friend, help a client. It's like a loop, or not a loop, but like a chain of reaction, I guess. And I was asked to help them with one of my services. They needed a service done last minute, and I had to go pull up on them to do it. Didn't want to do it. When my flesh was like, no, don't go, don't go. And if I end up going, meeting the person, talking to hearing about a whole bunch of things that their organization needs. Then found out that they have a position open that's perfect for me, that's basically remote, and it requires me that everything they want me to do come with stuff that's easy for me to do, hard for them, easy for me, and it pays a decent bag, and it don't require that much from me. That came out of nowhere, like out of thin air. And sometimes all it takes is you saying yes, even with stuff you don't want to. So keep that in mind. Next question. This is something really to ask yourself, but it's asking me, what are some of your plans for the new year? To do that consecration, to lose some more weight. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. Now, here's a question, we got to spice it up. With the situation with that organization, one could say that you hustled to get that. And how would I respond? I can't say I hustled to get that because it came out of thin air. I didn't ask for that. It just came out of thin air. It was because of the work the groundwork that in the foundation that I laid doing my, I guess you could say, hustling and doing my business that put me into that position. But it technically wasn't me hustling to get it. If anything, it was, like I said, what I did in the past that did. And sometimes hustling can put you in a position where you can chill. But like I said, hustling comes in seasons, and you should do it seasonally, not work, don't stop. Because when you hustle, it's just when burnout comes, which piggyback up last week because we talked about burnout. All right, got a few words we're going to define. So the first word I want to define is consistent, which we talked about that with the video with CJ. It says acting or done in the same way over time, especially so as to be fair or accurate. I'm also defining new, not existing before, made, introduced, or discovered recently or now for the first time. Validate. He was talking about validation in the first video. Legally or officially acceptable. All right. So now let's go for the last time this year. Let's go to the next segment, which is, what does this have to do with mental health? All right. So let's get into the first point. Hustle culture and chronic stress. According to the article, The Hidden Cost of Hustle Culture by Harvard Business Review, the constant drive to one rise and grind leads to chronic stress. The stress impacts decision-making, and individuals often operate in a state of fatigue, reducing their ability to think critically and make sound choices. The thing is, like I said, when you constantly in that hustle mode and that grind mode, you end up making bad choices. How many times you done made a decision in haste and forced the decision, made it with the quickness, and now you struggling. Now you done made a bad choice, and now you paying for it later. I know I have. The second one is work-life imbalance and mental overload. According to how hustle culture is harming mental health from Talkspace, it says hustle culture blurs the boundaries between work and personal life, creating mental overload. This imbalance can cloud judgment, make it difficult to prioritize tasks, and make effective decisions. If you're a full-time business entrepreneur, and even if you just have an entrepreneurial business on the side or whatever, and you have a regular job, you have to know when to turn the clock off and say, I'm not answering my phone after this time. I'm not answering my phone before this time. I know some people that say they don't answer the phone before noon. Like, you can't talk to them before noon. You have to put those boundaries in place. You might have to make it to where you turn your phone off or your social media goes off after a certain time. You might have to put the boundary place. We talked about this season, maybe putting your phone in another room at nighttime so you can't even be tempted to look and scroll for long periods of time. And in that video with Tiffany, y'all didn't see it. She talks about she only follows a handful of people because she'll be on social media for just hours and hours if she don't put those boundaries in place. The third one is perfectionism and fear of failure. According to an article of Toxicity of Hustle Culture by Embodied Therapy Group, the emphasis on constant achievement fosters perfectionism and an intense fear of failure. This mindset can cause decision paralysis, where individuals are so afraid of making a wrong choice that they struggle to make any decision at all. Now, with me, I'm not scared to fail, but that can't happen because you just like, I don't want to make the bad choice. I don't just do nothing. But I also have a forget I don't even care mentality, effort mentality, just do it, because the worst thing you can do is fail. The worst thing you can do is hear no. And that's not the end all be all. And sometimes we need to just do it. And if it don't work, at least you got to know what happened. At least you can say, I tried, it ain't work. Now you might say, flip it and say, well, what if I want to try doing what Tom, Dick, and Harry did because it made them a lot of money? What if I try it and don't work? I don't have a fear of failure. You don't have a fear of failure, and you are good at wanting to try something. But I do think you have fear of failure because you want to do what they did. Ooh, you want to do what they did, but you don't want to do what you could do because what you would do might be unheard of, and or it might set you out as the anomaly or make you as the person who what's the word I want to say? It might make you as the person who would be the first person to ever do this. So you scared to do it because you don't want to risk it. But what's to say Tom, Dick, or Harry wasn't the first person to do what they did? And yeah, it worked for them. But what do we go back to what we said earlier? When you have a grace to do something, when something is made for you, it's going to work differently for you than somebody else. What might took you 3 months to do, it might take somebody 3 years. So what I'm saying is to go back to it. I do think you still have a fear of failure because you're scared to do what you were designed to do because you tried it and you didn't get the what you wanted. It didn't happen as fast as you thought it should have happened. So you gave up. Which leads to the next point, which talks about negative impact on self-worth. According to the double-edged sword of hustle culture by Young Minds, hustle culture equates personal value with productivity, leading to diminished self-esteem. When individuals feel they aren't meeting these high standards, this can result in poor mental health outcomes and impaired decision-making due to lack of confidence. So this hustle culture, I think sometimes we'll hustle don't stop because we see everybody doing it or what's perceived that they're doing that. But you don't know when that person, like I said, they might turn their phone off at 9 o'clock and you wouldn't even know it. They're not going to show you that. I do believe content creators need to do that more, need to show more of what they do when they are resting, more what they doing when they aren't working, because a lot of times their audience thinks that they just grind and don't stop whole time. They out the country for a month and you would never even know that. They don't answer their phones to noon. They turn it off at 9. You know what I'm saying? They might say, "Oh, on this day I don't work at all." You know, you have to have that day of rest. So keep that in mind, because even God rested, so you need to rest too. All right, so let's not go into the next section, which is I challenge that. All right. So we're in challenges, and in this challenges today, we already kind of eased into that with some of the things I challenged towards the end. But when we're talking about challenging, I think it's best to challenge what I'm doing. So one could say, well, Izzy, you've been podcasting all these years. You're not rich. You've been ghostwriting all these years. You're not rich. What's your response to that? Maybe you should try something else. I enjoy what I'm doing. One, both of them. And two, I'm seeing growth every time I do it. It ain't like it's just been stagnant. It's growth in everything, right? And when it comes to the podcast, yeah, there are some people podcasts who've blown up and they're making big money off of it and do it. Some people who I feel like I should be before them, absolutely. But one thing, contrary to popular belief, that I learned in 2024 is I'm not no hater. There were people on platforms that I know I tried to get on. There are people who were on different shows and different things that I know that I should have been on and probably still will be on. It just wasn't the right time. And not one time did I hate on them, did I discredit them. I supported them the whole time. And that's when you know when your stuff comes, not saying it's a competition, but it's probably going to be a bigger because you've been waiting and watching everybody else get it. And not one time did you hate, not one time did you discredit. You lifted them up. You was like, keep going. I'm proud of you, giving them tips on what to do. And not one time did you ask them to put you on. Not one time did you ask them to help you. You ain't do none of that because you knew your time gonna come when it's supposed to. Because like I tell people all the time, if the blessing come too soon when you're not ready for it, it's gonna seem more like a curse. And I said that before, but I'm gonna say it again. So we got to shift our mindset and our paradigm on how we view certain things. But even to answer the final question about the question about, well, I already answered about the hustle, but I guess about the situation with that organization that I'm gonna be a part of. And I shouldn't be a part of because it hasn't officially started yet, but I know it will start soon, and I'm waiting on that. And that'll be something covered in my vlog. I done created my whole like little universe, if you haven't noticed, because like the vlog, you see some of the podcast stuff on the vlog, and then on the podcast, I mention stuff about the vlog sometimes. Like each of my things, my live stream, this podcast, and then the vlog, all have mentioned each other before. Like I said, I got my own universe. I'm like the Marvel universe. All right. That wasn't on purpose. This aligns with my first point in this challenge section. So it says harness the power of strategic hustle. Because again, going back to challenge, is hustling wrong? No. But like I said earlier, last season, and even earlier today, I just believe that it should be in points and not every day, all day. So it says the source comes from in the defensive hustle culture, while hard work pays off. According to this source, hustle culture is inherently negative when approached with balance. See, strategic hustle, where individuals work hard during specific seasons or projects while incorporating rest, can lead to significant success. The key to hustle with purpose and avoid overextending oneself indefinitely. So, while advocating for this, the hustle to break this hustle curse, I think that intentional hustle does build character, and I think it does provide opportunities and it sets a strong foundation for long-term success, which, based on everything that I've kind of hinted at and told y'all about, I've kind of seen that happen for me. The second one says reform hustle as a tool for personal growth. According to the upside of hustle culture, it says that hustle culture can serve as a catalyst for personal growth, helping individuals develop discipline, resilience, and problem-solving skills. The key to ensure this pursuit of goals is aligned with one's values and not merely societal expectations. So I think that if we were to necessarily reject hustle culture wholeheartedly, then we will ultimately be rejecting the role of fostering or creating like a life, different life skills and habits that only come about from hustling and kind of from making things happen. But then I also kind of go into the topic about your purpose. And so we talking about purpose, and say, for instance, like, a person who might be a full-time makeup artist, or who's part-time makeup artist planning on, well, I'm not gonna say makeup because this is for men, but a full-time, I'll say actor. They are act part-time, they're a teacher at the moment, full-time, right? Teaching might be your purpose for that season. You might not be doing it forever, but it's for that season. It's for that right now. So keep that in mind, because our purpose can be in something in the moment. So while it might not be your lifelong goal, this is where you need to be for right now, for whatever reason. Recognize the role of hustle in economic reality. So according to Why Hustle is a Survival Mechanism for Many by Business Insider, it says for many individuals, particularly those in marginalized background, hustle culture represents a means of economic survival and upward mobility. While it may contribute to stress, it also enables people to create opportunities and secure financial stability in challenging circumstances. Look, I believe that some people like, look, I'm gonna be stressed regardless. Let me go ahead and just be stressed for this season, much more than normal, so that when it's time to, break down and move around, it'll make sense later. So I get that advocating for rest and balance may not fully resonate with those who rely on the hustle culture for their basic needs. But what I will say is I get that. But in the same breath, remember, you have to rest. Your body has to rest. You have to take a break. It's the days you might be tired, but if you don't, your body gonna take the break for you. And if you don't take the breaks like you're supposed to, your body gonna take that break so bad that you're gonna be out much longer than you would have been if you would have took that break. So I get it, but I'm telling you, it ain't. You don't do that. Don't learn the hard way. I know from experience. All right, y'all. Let's move to the final segment of the season, the weekly sabbatical. And in this segment, we know this is the time to reflect and kind of get into some things. So last week's verse, which I'm gonna reiterate, was Matthew 11:28-30. It says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. You will find rest in my souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So what that means to me is, when you are overwhelmed, when you are stressed, when you need rest, God says, "Come to me and rest in me." And I think it's much easier said than done, because I know God knows our hearts. And sometimes he knows when, like, you stressed out and you saying, "I'm gonna give it to you, Lord," but I give it to you, God, and you don't. and it's saying you just saying it because it sounds good, but you actually really do it and just say there's nothing else I can do, and I'm gonna let you have that. I didn't seen doors open. I didn't seen, I don't know what else I can do, guys. You're gonna have to make it work. And all of a sudden I get a deposit from somebody, or I get money that was owed to me just drop into my account. I've seen it happen too many times. I'm telling you from experience, this has happened actually just today. And then another remembrance of somebody who I got to get a payment from that I'm getting on Monday. So it's like you just never know. That's what I'm telling you. You have to really just let God be God. And sometimes we try to be our own God. And I know people believe they are God, and that's great if that works for you. But I know it's not, but you think it is. So, hey, it is what it is. The next is Isaiah 43, 18, 19 said, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Now, I believe this is the year of a lot of new stuff, right? I defined new earlier, and then just the vibe I'm getting is everything is going to be new. So when it's new, you can't use an old key for a new door. You can go in with a strategy that worked last season that's going to work for this season, because when it's new, it never existed. We defined new before. It was not never heard of, not never seen. So when it says I will make roads in the wilderness and rivers in the desert, that means one, God will make a way out of no way and do something that makes no sense, because a river in the desert does not make sense. So when you allow him to do what he's going to do and want to do, and relying on him to do that, is not going to make sense. When you're shifting into your purpose, it's not going to make sense. So I'm going to tell you this now. If you're trying to still make sense of everything, you are in error, because it's not going to make sense. As we end off, let's talk about shifting to your purpose. I found research all these, but I also had to add my points to them because I did my own points first and then research, and then now I kind of blended them together. So let's get into the first one. It says, explore life crafting to design your purpose. According to an article, life crafting as a proactive strategy for well-being from Frontiers in Psychology, deliberately designing aspects of your life, such as setting clear goals, identifying personal values, and aligning daily activities with your long-term aspirations, can help you discover your purpose and enhance overall well-being. So when we get down to it again, what is it you like to do? Set clear goals. Have goals set up. What do you want to accomplish? Write on paper, like the purpose planning what Tiffany's doing. What do you want to happen to you? She talks about how everything she ever written down in her life came to pass. Write it down on paper. Write the vision. Make it plain. I've done that. I'm doing it. You don't care how crazy it sounds. I don't care how big it sounds. I'm going to write it down and just have it written so you can know, like, at least look at it as many times as you think about it, so you can know, look at this, get to this, and we're going to make this happen. And if you have a I'm going to make it happen mentality, it's going to happen. Reflect on your values and your strengths. According to 7 Ways to Find Your Purpose in Life by Greater Good Magazine, reflecting on personal values, interests, and strengths can guide towards your meaningful activities that align with your true self. This self-awareness is crucial for identifying what resonates deeply with you. So, also with that, I'm still big on keeping your goals private. People say, oh, I'm just too secretive. The person can't stop what God had for me. They can delay it, and they can cause you to delay it. And some people may say, well, I'm too strong-willed for that. Don't say what can't happen. That's all I'm going to say. Don't get that. Keep some things private, just because. The third one is seek spiritual guidance through scripture, according to ways to start living life with true meaning and purpose according to the Bible. By biblical scripture, Proverbs 19:21 emphasizes that while humans may make plans, it's ultimately the Lord's purpose that prevails. Aligning with biblical teaching and seeking divine guidance can provide clarity and direction for your life. So I'm an advocate for that. You know, what it is, I think Psalm 16:3 or Proverbs 16:3 talks about commit your plans to the Lord, let him establish them. I think it's Proverbs 16:3. So I'm all for writing stuff down and being like, whatever this ain't of you, remove it, because you're going to waste your time trying to do it and it wasn't supposed to work. What's the point of wasting your time? Like, at this point, you know, the youngest millennial now is 28 going on 29. You ain't got much time, young millennial man, to be just trying stuff right now. You know what I mean? I think we need to Try, try it again this time with God, because you can try it enough by yourself. And where are you at now? Listen to this podcast, trying to figure out what to do next. You saw the title talking about it's 2025, and you still in the same spot. And now you like, see, you tired of being this. You tired of this. Keep that in mind. The next one is practice gratitude and cultivate positive emotions. That's just, I'm not gonna read all that. I'm gonna just say keeping it short. It's from the same. Well, no, it's from the source of The Science of Gratitude by the Greater Good magazine. But in short, be thankful daily. Be thankful for the little things, so that when you get the big things, you can appreciate them even more because you're thankful for the little. Final one, engage in community and service, and I added to this one when I said find like-minded individuals. So according to the article, The Purpose of Service by Psychology Today, engaging in the acts of service and contributing to the well-being of others fosters a strong sense of purpose. Community involvement can reveal passions and provide fulfillment while creating meaningful connections. There's literally a community for everything you want to do. Good, bad, and ugly. And I say ugly because there's some communities of things that you don't need to be doing. They got them. So our logic is, if they got the bad ones, they got the good ones too. So when I say something about engaging in community and service and just I'm saying finding like-minded people. If you are an upcoming YouTuber and vlogger, you need to find other YouTubers and vloggers. You don't need to go to your friend who is a worship leader at the church asking him advice on your vlog when that's not his thing. Or going to your friend who is a makeup artist asking her for tips on the vlog. Or going to your friend who is a banker or a therapist what the vlog should be like. That's not their thing. You have to find people that's the same. Now, a lot of y'all scared to make friends on social media. I'm not. Because my thing is too, if people want to get mad at something or sit up here and try to bring down people or, for making friends on social media, the next time a person makes fun of you for making friends on social media or always talking to some new people, one, ask them, are they rich? And the answer will be no. But then also ask them, where is hanging with the same people right now that you be around? What is that doing for you besides keeping you comfortable? Y'all be saying y'all looking for connections, but y'all really not looking for connections. Y'all looking for new friends, but just to turn up with? Let's get some money without scamming and bringing that back up, because people do be doing that. People get friends to scam. That's a real thing. Getting near the phones, the cards, all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So keep that in mind moving forward. All right, y'all, let's get into the final thing for this episode, which is the question and challenge for the week. What's one thing you've been hustling for that isn't aligned with your purpose? A lot of times we be in the wrong, doing the wrong stuff. And I want y'all to really listen to yourself, get into what it is that you're doing. It ain't working. It's time to go up. You've been going around the same mountain long enough. It's time to go up. For real, because it's got old now. That's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in this season. Thank you for reposting, sharing, commenting, trying to troll me a little bit on YouTube. I know you're going to troll me some more. It's okay. I'm built for that. And yeah, so I'm thankful for this. And I'll be happy to see y'all. Well, I'm going to see y'all Monday, but that's technically a different thing. This actual podcast itself is over for season 8. So for the last time, for the podcast at least, PSA signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And remember, I love us for real.